morning, students. Today you will be learning Unit 1, the next 6 paragraphs, that is Chief Seattle speech. Okay? I think you would have already learned the first 6 paragraph and you would have come to an understanding. And I will be dealing you with the next 6 paragraph. I hope this class would be an interesting one for you. Let's move on. Chief Seattle speech. You would have already learned who was the author of the speech and why this speech is very important and why this speech is included in your syllabus. I will do just a recap of what you have learned so far so that you might understand it in a better way. Before continuing my reading my paragraph or teaching you and explaining my paragraph, I will just do a recap of what has been learned so far. So let's do a recap of what you have learned so far. Chief Seattle speech is very important speech. The speech was a response to the American government. You have learned when was the year Chief Seattle lived and when he passed away. So Chief Seattle lived from 1876 to 1866. I repeat, he lived from 1876 to 1866. So he was a public leader. He was a chief leader of Native American, that is the Red Indians. There are 2 tribes. He was the leader of the 2 tribes, and that is Suquamish and Duwamish tribe. So I repeat again, Suquamish and Duwamish tribes. So he was the leader of these 2 tribes of Red Indians. Okay, you would have understand it in a better way, I think. So why this speech is very important? So Chief Seattle is known for the speech that he delivered in 1854. This speech was mainly delivered in the year 1854. It is also referred to a letter. Why was the speech delivered? Why was the speech delivered to the Americans? So let's see why the speech was delivered. The speech was a response to the American US government land treaty to buy the native land that was proposed by Isaac Stevens. I repeat again, the speech was a response to the American US government land treaty to buy the native land. Okay, that the native land was whose native land? It was the native land of the Red Indians. So the American wants the land and borrows the land from the Red Indians. So this is the speech is all about. So that was proposed. Who proposed it? Isaac Stevens. So he was the governor of the Washington. Okay. So now let's move to the next slide. You would have heard what is Chief Seattle speech is all about. It's just a question to ponder. I've already given you the question as well as the answer. So it is easy for you to answer, but you need to think what are the questions and how it is very important also. So let's move on to the next slide. So the question is, what does the Chief Seattle tell about the condition of his people earlier? So Chief Seattle says that the land in large numbers, just like water of the sea, covers the seabed. So this is the answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. The question 2 is, how do the tribal men regard the ashes of the ancestors? The tribal men regard the ashes of their ancestors as sacred and respect them. The ground where their dead are buried is considered holy by them. Okay, and the next one is, where was the religion of the white people written? So the religion of the white people was written on stone slabs, so they would never forget, but they could never understand its significance. Let's move on to the explanation part. So reading from the 6th paragraph, let us start. Day and night cannot dwell together. The red man has ever fled the approach of the white man, as the morning mist flees before the morning sun. Here he tries to tell that. He says that the red tribes and the white man cannot really coexist. There cannot be a peaceful coexistence in spite the hands of friendship that the white man from Washington actually now extending to the Red Indians. So here I have shown you some pictures of Native Americans, and this is how their dressing is, and the way of their tradition is also very different. And the next picture is the Americans. You would have already seen the Americans. And the next picture is the Americans land, Native Americans land, how the American wanted to buy the Native Americans land. So let us read the next paragraph, paragraph 7. It matters little where we pass the remnant of our days. They will not be many. The Indian's night promises to be dark. Not a single star of hope hovers above his horizon. Here he tries to explain that there is a sense of lack of hope about the future of the tribes. We could see from this line itself, they are very depressed. Okay. He also realizes that the tribe shall vanish away. So if the Americans take the land of the Native Americans, where will they live? Where will they go? To which part they will go if there's no home for them? Okay, we need to ponder over that. Over a period of time, the tribes are actually vanished. Okay, they are really vanished over a period of time. There was no place for them. So they come in towns and cities and also intermarry also. Okay, sad voice winds moan in the dark distance. Grim fate seems to be on the red man trail. So what is grim fate? Okay, what is the word meaning grim fate? Grim fate means conveys the negative is going to happen. Okay, so the land is going to be taken away from the Native Americans. So here Chief Seattle feels very depressed about the land and about this people and about the nature, okay, etc. And wherever he will hear the approaching footsteps of his fellow destroyer and prepare stolidly to meet his doom, as does the wounded doe that hears the approaching footsteps of the hunter. Doe here refers to the female deer, okay, wherever the hunter, okay. So he is referring to himself, his tribe, his men, his population, his people as the injured doe. So injured doe, I already told that it refers to the female deer and approaching footsteps of the hunter. So the hunter here, the deer is the tribes. Okay, he's referring the deer to his tribes. So the hunter has shot the deer and is injured, and it cannot get up and escape or run away, and it has to meet its fate. Okay, now he is comparing himself to the deer. Okay, to the deer, how once if a hunter comes and attacks a deer, it gets injured. It cannot even rise up or even walk away or escape from that situation. So the Native Americans are really facing that trouble right now. So the Americans has asked the land, and they are in a real fate. Where would they go? Where the people would stay? Okay, and this is the confusion that is happening in the Chief Seattle. Okay, in the minds of Chief Seattle. Okay, that's why he is comparing himself to a injured doe. Okay, doe refers to the female deer which has been injured. I think this paragraph you would have understood it in a better way. Let's move on to the next slide. Let's move on to the next paragraph. I have taught you so far till the 7th paragraph, and now we are moving to the 8th paragraph. First I will read the paragraph and I will explain to you in a detailed manner. A few more moons, a few more winters, and not one of the descendants of the mighty host that once moved over this broad land or lived in happy homes protected by the Great Spirit will remain to mourn over the graves of a people, and once more powerful and hopeful than yours. But why should I mourn at the fate of my people? Okay, here he's asking he's asking why should we mourn or why should we be dismayed. He's tapping himself, that is, let us think positive, let us move. Okay, Seattle tries to uplift himself and his people all over again and tries to exhort them that So he's patting himself, and he's patting also his support. He's encouraging his people not to be discouraged, not to be dismayed. Oh, let us face this situation. Why should we feel negative and pessimistic? Okay. So the next para, tribe follows tribe and nation follows nation. Like the waves of the sea, it is the order of nature, and regret is useless. Your time of decay may be distant, but it will surely come. For even the white man whose God walked and talked with him as friend to friend cannot be exempt from the common destiny. We may be brothers after all, we will see. So he's telling the whites, okay, we follow tribes. For tribes follow tribes only, right? And nation follows nation, like the waves of the sea. So he's telling we may be brothers after all. Okay, we will see. Let us see. Okay. So he's telling we may be, okay, we may be brothers after all. So there's a gentle sarcasm he makes, okay, that there will come a time, despite your God who's talking to you as a friend, there will come a time you will also be faced with fate similar to us. Okay, he's telling, okay, we will agree to the land proposition that you have said. Okay, we will give you that land, but one day, okay, one day or the other, you will also will face the same sarcasm, okay, as we are facing right now. Okay, he's already discouraged and dismayed, but he could see that, okay, he is, okay, he's comforting himself and his people and motivating his people also. So there will come a time, okay, now right now we are facing that confusion and that pain we are facing right now, but there will come a time, okay, he's telling there will come a time where your God walked and talked. Okay, you may have many generation, many centuries, you can live for many centuries, but right now we agree to your proposal. Okay, this line explains to, so you would have understood this line also. Let's move on to the next paragraph. I will read it. We will ponder your proposition, and when we decide we will let you know. Okay, they have just said we will ponder. Okay, we will think about your proposition and we'll let you know. Okay, so they have to wait till now. After they give, they agree. Okay, they have to take their land. So he says, but why should we accept it? I here and now make this condition, that we will not be denied the privilege without molestation of visiting at any time of the tombs of our ancestors, friends and children. Every part of the soil is sacred in the estimation of my people. Okay, here he explains that we will ponder over your proposition, he says, and he says, I here and now make this condition. So he makes the condition, okay, we will give you that land, but one condition we will make. Okay, it may take how many days or years, though you live in that land, we will come and see our ancestors and children who are buried, okay, buried in that land. So you need to give that time, and you need to give that space for us, okay, to come to that land, and we will see our ancestors, okay, by visiting at any time of the tomb. Okay, we will visit our tomb. Okay, that the tomb belongs to the Native Americans. So if the white Americans come and live there or work there, or they may be building any number of buildings, but that doesn't matter to us. But this condition that we make is we will be visiting our tomb of our ancestors and children, etc. We will be visiting our tomb. Okay, when we come that time, you shouldn't neglect us, you shouldn't push us away. Okay, that is the condition he makes. You need to give us that space to visit our tomb. Okay, and that's how he explains. So he says every part of the soil is sacred and in the estimation of my people. So every part of the soil. So he's comparing not only to the people, but he's telling and comparing to the nature also, how nature and how each soil is very very sacred to them, very very important to them. Okay, it is very very important. So he, Chief Seattle, not just want the land or the people. Okay, he is also supporting for the nature, and we could see that how nature is also very important, how environment is very important. Okay, so the next line, every hillside, every valley, every plain and grove has been hollowed by some sad or happy event in days long vanished. So he says that every hillside, okay, every valley, every plain and grove has been hollowed by some sad or happy event. Okay, where we cherished here, there was some sad happenings that happened, and there's some happy moments that they were there. Okay, but the days are all going to be vanished. Okay, if the Americans going to take that land, okay, they'll be visiting only for the tombs to visit their ancestors. But this soil, okay, if the American wanted to build the land and destroy all the nature and the trees, everything, if they destroy, okay, there will be nothing. Okay, only the buildings and the flats will be there. Even the rocks which seems to be dumb and dead as a sweater in the sun along the silent shore, thrill with memories of stirring events connected with the lives of my people, and the very dust upon which you now stand responds more lovingly to their footstep than yours, because it is rich with the blood of our ancestors, and our bare feet are conscious of this sympathetic touch. So this line compares to the sea. He says, even the rocks which seems to be dumb, okay, even the rocks are very silent and dead as the sweater of the sun along the silent shore, thrill with memories of stirring events connected with the lives of my people. So he is also connecting with the ancestors. He is stressing on about the ancestors, that we need to visit our ancestors, we need to visit our tomb. Okay, you can take that land, you can build any number of buildings you want, but this condition that we make is we need that to see and visit our ancestors. Okay, we will visit our ancestors, we visit our tombs whenever we want. Okay, and that's the condition that the Chief Seattle makes, because it is rich with the blood, okay, of our ancestors. He's telling of the ancestors' bloods are very very rich, okay, and our bare feet are conscious and the sympathetic touch. Okay, this is the line that he explains. Okay, he says that their ancestors' memories are very very rich. Okay, it is very very rich in their sight. Okay, you may take that land, but we need to visit that land whenever we want, and that's how he explains this paragraph. So here's a picture of the Native Americans' burial ground. So reading from the next paragraph, our departed braves, fond mothers, glad, happy-hearted maidens, and even the little children who lived here and rejoiced here for a brief season. With love, these somber solitudes and eventide they greet shadowy returning spirits. Okay, he says that in this line, our departed braves, fond mothers, glad, happy, hearted maidens, and even the little children who lived there and rejoiced for a brief season. Okay, these people, okay, mothers, glad, happy children, happy maidens, everyone who lived here, they would have been here for a brief season only. We love the somber solitude at in eventide they greet shadowing returning spirit. Okay, here he says that even the spirits, okay, they will greet them, they will greet the returning spirits. Okay, and when the last red man shall have perished and the memory of my tribe shall have become a myth among the white men. Okay, here's the myth is something which may or may not exist. Okay, that is the myth. Okay, he's telling so far the white man, this may become some kind of a story. Okay, he's telling this may become a kind of a story. Okay, maybe he's telling that is why it is a myth. You may think it is a myth, but it is a reality for us. Everything is real for us. You may take this land, but Everything is very, very important. This nature, the soil, everything is very, very important for us, and that's how he stresses on that. Okay, and when the last dead man shall have perished, and the memory of my tribe shall have become a myth among the white men, these shores with swarm with the invisible dead of my tribe. And when your children's children think themselves alone in this field, the store, the shop, upon the highway, or in the silence of the pathless wood, they will not be alone. Okay, he's telling the children's children think themselves alone in this field, the store, the shop, everything will be there. Okay, but they will not be alone. Their ancestors, okay, the ashes of the ancestors will be, the spirits will be still moving on that land. We will be there like a spirit. The ancestors ashes will be still there. It will be moving in the field. Okay, they will be moving around this field, so we are still alive in this land. Okay, though you take my land, but it will not be alone. Our spirits will be still there. That's how he's stressing on that. Okay, and at the night when the streets of my cities and villages are silent and you think them deserted, they will throng with the returning host that once filled them and still love this beautiful land. Okay, the white man will never will be alone. You will not be alone. Our spirits will be still there. The spirits will be still moving on that land. Okay, so that's how he explains this. He tells in this speech. Okay, and he explains in the speech. He says that you may physically owning this land, but the spirit will always be there around the same land. The spirits will be moving on this land. That's how he says in this line. So next line is, so the ending is very, very beautiful. Okay, so he says that there is no death. Okay, let him be just and deal kindly with my people. Okay, he says, let him be just. Okay, let him be just and deal kindly with my people, for the dead are not powerless. Dead, did I say? He says with a question. So this line is very beautiful, right? So he says that there is no death. There are only changing the worlds from the present earth to go to another world. So he's telling there is no death at all. Okay, his belief is there is no death at all. Even while they go to the another world, they still live around what at one point in the time in their land. Okay, they are still living. Okay, they are still living in this land. Okay, the spirit moves on in this land. That's how it's trying to explain in this. So now we have come to the concluding part. Okay, so far you would have learned what is Chief Seattle's speech is all about. It is just a request to the American government and to be deal kindly with this people. Okay, that's what this speech is all about. And this line speaks about these shores will swarm with the invisible dead of my tribe, and when your children's children think themselves alone in the field, the store, the shop, upon the highway, or in the silence of the pathless wood, they will not be alone. In all the earth there is no place dedicated to solitude. At night when the streets of your cities and villages are silent, and you think them deserted, they will throng with the returning host that once filled them and still love this beautiful land. The white man will never be alone. Okay, here he tries to explain that the white man will never be alone. Okay, though you buy our land, though we move out of this land, okay, though we go out of this land, giving you our land to you, you will not be alone till our spirits will be moving there. Our ancestors' spirits will be moving there. We will come and meet our ancestors anytime we want, and meet the tomb anytime we want. And that is the space that you need to give us. And that what Chief Seattle tries to explain that. So you will never be alone. Our spirits will be still moving on this land. Okay, that's what he's trying to explain. So let him be just. Okay, he's telling let him be just. Let him be just and deal kindly with my people. So you be just and deal kindly with my people. Okay, for the dead are not powerless. Dead, did I say? See, you can see there's a question. Dead, did I say? There is no death, only change of worlds. Okay, he says that his belief is that they are only changing of worlds from the present earth to go to the another world. Okay, even while they go to the another world, they still live around what at one point in their land. Okay, though their belief is that there is no death at all, only there's a change of world, just moving from this world to the another world, that is the eternity he's speaking about. Okay, there is no death at all. His belief is there is no death at all. So he's telling to the Americans, we will be still moving, our spirits of our ancestors will be still moving, though your children will be there. You may build many shops, many buildings, any flats you may build. Okay, you may live happily also, but our ancestors spirit is still moving on that land. Okay, and this what this paragraph explains. I hope you would have understood this paragraph in a better way. So now your follow-up work would be, you need to find the themes of the lesson Chief Seattle speech. Okay, I have already given you the points and I have already mentioned the themes of the Chief Seattle speech, and you need to note down, and you need to ponder over the themes. Okay, and we will be dealing with the themes in the next class. I hope this class would have been an interesting one. Okay, and thanks for your cooperation. Thank you.